Hello, I'm David DeCosmo. Welcome to ECTV Live. Joining me, my co-host, Rusty Fender. Rusty?
Sounded a little mellow today.
Yeah, I got that allergy voice.
Absolutely.
All set. And thanks
You're
for
not
sitting
alone.
in last week.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I had a lot of family obligations that came up without me knowing them at the last minute.
You deserved a longer Easter weekend since it worked out well.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely. I hope I can get rid of the allergies, but, you know, when we get my age, you expect to have some illness here and there. You want to make sure the kids stay healthy, though, and that's one of the reasons we have today's program. Trish Fisher from the Scranton YMCA, and she's also affiliated with the Wilkes-Barre YMCA, joins us today. They've got a special program coming up called Healthy Kids Day. So we want to talk about that, and of course a lot of the other programs offered by the YMCAs. But what is Healthy Kids Day all about?
Well, Healthy Kids Day was started back in 1991, and it's really the kickoff for a healthy summer and promoting healthy lifestyles for kids over the summer while they're out of school and have a little bit more free time to maybe get into a little bit of mischief.
So you've got some special programs lined up for that day. When is it?
It's this Saturday. It starts at 10 o'clock. And we have all kinds of things. We have about 50 vendors coming with everything from a big, huge climbing wall to face painting and games and a DJ. So there's quite a bit to keep the kids busy this Saturday.
Pre-registration?
No, just come on in, and we have a petting zoo and food, and just plan to have some fun.
Now, they don't have to be YMCA members to attend this?
No, this is open to anybody and everybody. And
as I understand it, Trish, this will be at both facilities?
Correct. It will be at both YMCAs.
Now, where are they located?
The Scranton Dunmore is on 706 North Blakely. It's right at the intersection of Blakely and 81. And I am not sure of the Wilkes-Barre ones.
Wilkes-Barre would be on Franklin Street, I believe.
South Franklin at the corner of Franklin and Northampton.
Northampton Street,
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kind of a classic building there. My
is.
brother was very involved there,
Whenever I go, I'm on autopilot, so I don't pay attention to the road names.
Is this the first time you've run this Healthy Kids Day?
No. Here at Scranton, we've been running it for about 5 years now. And every year it gets bigger and bigger. We're well over 1,000 people attending now. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
And it's cheap to join the Y these days, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't matter if you can't afford it. If you're struggling a little bit, we offer scholarships. We actually give out about $250,000 worth of scholarships a year for people to come and do the programs. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I was very involved in the YMCA in Hazleton. And my mom was one of the folks who raised money for the scholarships then.
Okay.
And really, nobody got turned away. Everybody that wanted to.
And that was America's first hotel. When you came to town, you didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, now that is
the YM or YW.
Changed.
That's right. That's changed, right?
There are several Ys that still have residents.
I thought so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And YWCAs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly in the bigger cities, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have gone away.
Yeah, but you're right. That was it.
That's us, America's Hotel.
That's right.
It was decades before the Holiday Inn.
Yep.
Anybody that remembers Jim Mustard that used to work at WDAU-TV,
Channel 22,
lived at the YMCA.
That's right. That's correct.
Here in Scranton.
A lot
Of course,
of
now
people
that
did.
that facility is gone. When they come to this Healthy Kids Day, of course, their parents bring them.
Correct.
And do they pick out what things they want to do, or do you have it regimented where they go through a certain line of activities?
No. It's really, they can pick and choose what they'd like to do, and there will be things out in front and in the gym and in the back. And so it's really, and some of them are age restricted. Some are for the younger kids and some are for a little bit older.
And since you mentioned Outback, you brought some photos along here, and I did not realize, I think of the wine, I think of it more or less as a building rather than an overall
I think that's
plot.
a generational thing. I do too. I think of it as a building all the time.
But now this shot is actually on your property at the Scranton.
Correct. Yeah.
And when I say Scranton, are you technically in Scranton or technically in Dunmore, I guess?
Well, we serve the greater Scranton area,
Right,
but
so
technically it's
that's
Dunmore.
Yeah. So you make use of all the property, not only the gymnasium inside, which
Right.
used to be the focal point of all the YMCA
right.
activities. Now, this is not Healthy Kids Day in this particular shot.
No, we have a little theater area that actually a grant from Kaboom helped build quite a few years ago, and a big playground back there from Kaboom. And this is our summer camp. We have about 200 kids a day at our summer camp, and they were doing some theater work there in the back.
What's Kaboom, a national program?
It's Kaboom is a national program that helps. Actually, it's based off of the Kaboom products, I believe.
I
They
see.
have their own foundation, and they
They
help.
must set some money aside then from the sales and the
Correct,
proceeds, I see.
correct. So if you ever want to see it, it's a beautiful playground, and it was very nice donation.
And that's
from them.
good. It's summer, so outdoor, and will that be starting soon?
It will. The day that school is out is the day that camp starts.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're filling up already.
And here is another activity that is indoors, of course, and this is the pool at the Y. I believe there's also one at the Wilkes-Barre facility as well. And that was another thing that back in my Hazelton days was very popular. But we didn't have this kind of equipment. What are these things that they're...
Those are called Wibbits, and they're just huge blown up toys that the kids, we put in the pool every weekend, starting on Friday night, and we actually even have movie nights where the kids can lay on those and watch a movie on the side of the pool.
Really?
So we call them flick and floats.
Flickin' floats.
Yep.
Yeah. I hope you have a good machine to inflate those things.
Yeah, we do.
Another thing we talked about before we went on the air, some of the kids in the gymnasium, but the things that are around the kids here, these blue, I don't know, what are they foam?
They're foam. That's called the Imagination Playground, and it's just hundreds of pieces. They're almost like Lego pieces made out of foam, and the kids can make huge structures. They can just use their imagination and build whatever they want with the pieces.
I don't have to have any more, huh, Dick?
No, it's amazing,
isn't it?
but it's nice that you put these things to good use as well, and have the kids, activities. Now, this is another one that surprised the heck out of me because I thought I knew the area inside and out. But this is a lake, and I believe you said basically in the Whitehaven area,
Correct.
generally speaking. And this is actually a YMCA facility.
Right. This is the resident camp for Wilkes-Barre YMCA, but they're also a partner with us. The name of the camp is Camp Kresge, and it's 1,100 acres in Whitehaven, where they run year-round programs, but also residence camp in the summertime and day camp. They hold day camp, and the children from Scranton Day Camp actually go down once a week to use this
I've
camp
heard of
as
that. I
well.
didn't know where it was. So it's the Whitehaven area.
Yeah.
I've heard of Camp Kresge.
So these are
beautiful.
They bust down to these facilities?
Correct. And they do environmental studies, and they have high and low ropes. They have the archery ranges, as you were talking about before.
I used to teach archery at the YMCA in
Yeah.
Hazelton, yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be a big program. Does that still exist, archery?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, right? I would think that's big.
And actually, they just built a big arts village this year, so that will really expand the program.
Do they
there.
still teach everything from how to swim to do archery, or is
Oh,
it more or less
absolutely.
you teach
Oh,
it
yeah.
as well? Okay.
Oh, yep. We have archery actually at Dunmore as well.
I see.
Yeah, again, I taught at the Y in Hazelton, and at the time, the man who was the state champion, a man named Al Breeze from Weatherly, I believe, taught
Archery champion.
me.
Archery
yeah.
champion, really?
He was at the time, yeah.
We're looking for an instructor. Are you busy
There
this
you go,
summer?
Dave.
You know, I can teach the basics. The problem I have now is that the bows have changed completely.
Oh, no
I
doubt.
had,
So high tech
I
now,
had the
huh?
straight 45-pound pull bow. Now they've got the compound bows.
Right.
When I held it back, you had to keep holding it. Now the
Now there's
mechanism.
exactly.
You're the
holds it.
engineer.
Well, now they have self. You pull it back, and it's an inertia reel, so it releases when you touch it again. It's what they have anymore. I
Yeah.
manage DeCosmo, so I get 10%. So he's going to come
Okay,
down.
okay.
Yeah, he'll definitely be
I'll
there.
give you my card before I go.
Great. He will definitely be there.
Another good use of the wine. Now, I especially like this because this is an occasion where you brought the kids over and you let them have a look at fire apparatus. Now, first of all, kids love fire trucks. I know from my grandson.
All the time.
But the other thing is that if they get a chance to see a vehicle like this and an ambulance when it's not in use,
Right.
then unfortunately, if there's an incident where they are in use, they're not so frightening to
Right.
them.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Absolutely.
So this is like one of your, would be a day camp program, or?
This actually is our preschool program, where in the fall they have safety week, and so the Dunmore Police come and visit us, and the fire department, and the kids really get to climb on the truck. Some of the kids are still a little frightened, but the guys are so great. The firefighters are so great with the kids and get right down to their level and really make them feel comfortable being around not only the truck but them as well.
So you get a lot of community cooperation,
We do.
I gather.
We do. Definitely.
And does that involve people coming in to volunteer their time and services for various programs?
Yeah, we have, oh boy, I have to really search in my brain. I don't know if I can come up with it, but we actually track the number of hours, volunteer hours, and if I remember correctly, it was well over 2,000 this year of volunteer hours.
We're always looking for more people.
Oh,
Do they
always.
just get in touch with the Y in general?
Yeah,
on
they
the
can just
website?
call the main number
I see.
or email into the website. Our email addresses are all on there, and really, the community involvement. This is the 5th Y that I've actually worked at, and I am just so blown away by the community involvement. It's such a different community here, and I'm not just saying that, but I've said it many times to people.
How so? What would we?
It just reminds me of how I grew up, and just people really truly caring about each other and taking care of each other, and it's really a breath of fresh air. I came from New York, so it's a little different, but it's very nice.
And I mean, how do you use these volunteers?
We have everything that people that want to just come in and paint or do gardening for us to, of course, our board puts in a lot of time with us. Our board of directors, they're all volunteer, and people coming in to read to our classes.
You know, you have a shot, I guess, is this
Yep, that's
probably one of the volunteers, maybe?
Yep, that's one of our teachers, but we do usually have volunteers in there almost daily reading to the children. Trying to think of all the ways we use volunteers to helping out with teaching some of our classes. Some of our instructors are volunteers. Working up in our daycare center. It's really endless.
I think what you said covers a lot of bases in this area. This is not inherently, and I'm from this area, a very high-paying area like New York and New Jersey. I think the people, more or less stick together and take advantage of a cheaper, a less expensive way to learn or to play or any type of activity thing. I think that what really leads to, a lot of folks being a little more tight-knit than you are more cold and more, non-responsive in a big city, don't you?
Right. I do. I do. And I think part of it is that people have lived here for generations. Families have lived here for generations,
Exactly.
and they feel responsible for each other. It's really, it's very different from what I've used to. It reminds me of how I grew up. So it's really a breath of fresh
Yeah, but
air.
when you talk about different, I go back to my YMCA days in Hazelden, 100 years ago. Pardon me. That was the place to be. Everybody joined. Kids are not joiners as much today
You're right.
as they used to be.
That's right.
You still have your scouts and organizations like that, but they don't get as many as they used to.
Technology, it's a do-it-yourself world anymore. It's a do-it-yourself, do-it-by-yourself world anymore. And if you want to do something like video games, you do it online with people all over the world. It's the whole chemistry of technology has changed. That's the difference.
And that's why I'm wondering about, and the Healthy Kids Day is something open to everybody, and we'll get back into that because that's the main reason we're here. But as far as participation of kids, and another thing is, you mentioned you serve the greater Scranton area. You're basically on the edge of Dunmore. Now, Wilkes-Barre's is still right downtown.
Right.
But it's not the kind of place that most kids can walk to.
That's right.
So you've got to transport them. And I think even if you're going to downtown Wilkes-Barre, if you got the younger kids, you're going to be transporting them there, not allowing them to go on their own. So what kind of reaction, participation do you get from the kids these days?
That's really a great question, because one of the things that I've found is that the teens in this area aren't engaged with us as much as they have been at otherwise.
Exactly.
But the interesting thing is our membership was about 2,500 about 6 years ago, 2,500 members. We're now over 8,000 members.
Oh, my word, wow.
I thought it would go the other way, quite frankly.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that we changed the programming structure to be more family-based, and so now, where 5-6 years ago we did not have very many families at all, I don't remember the exact number, but now more than half of our membership are family members. So we have about 4,600 family members now.
So does that mean that the programs are aimed more toward a younger child as far as the kids' participation?
Pretty much, but we also
More towards family participation, right?
Correct. So we're focused now on making sure our programs incorporate the opportunity for families to participate
And we
together.
can't forget there's a Pittston Y too, right
Correct.
on Main Street as well. We haven't mentioned that as well.
Right.
That was totally redone about a decade ago, and
Yep.
that's a beautiful facility right on the main drag.
They're the 5 Ys everywhere from Wayne County, Carbondale, Scranton, Pittston, and Wilkes-Barre. In the past 3 years, we've really started working hard together, and we're being very intentional about working hard to strengthen all of us and being able to serve our community better, because the stronger we all are, the better we can serve the needs of the
But now,
community.
most of the photos we've seen, we focused on the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But is it safe to assume then that almost all of these activities have a time or a place when mom and dad are supposed to be involved in them as well?
There are some, but it also, we're focusing more on the holistic family. So for instance, we have a program called Healthy Families, Happy Families, and it's all about nutritious eating as a family and participating in just, you don't have to go out for a 5-mile run as a family, but if you go play on a playground and it's vigorous playing, that's considered exercise as well.
See, that could be the drawing point. This is not a drop-off point like the mall used to be. This is not the mall with exercise.
Right.
It should be a family-engaged operation. That's the good thing about that.
And it's not always together, but maybe mom and dad want to go take a yoga class, but the kids can go participate in cooking classes, and they can do those things at the same time and both become healthier, but not everything is together with
Well,
them.
I don't know how yours is set up. I'm going back, we used to have some basic things like ping pong tables and things where you could, and of course the gymnasium, where if there wasn't a team participating, you could go in there and with your basketball and just shoot baskets and
by
things
yourself,
like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, when you see that rise in the membership, I'd be curious though as to where the teens fit in there. Have we seen less of the teens?
Actually, we're seeing more than we did.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
But
me too.
It's still, teens are my passion. I started out with the YMCA as a teen director, so they've always had a soft spot in my heart. And I wish we could engage them more. But to me, that means that although the need is still out there, they are being engaged in other areas. And sports plays such a huge part in this community that
Any community.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even more here, though, from what I've seen. And even if you're not participating in the sport, you're there cheering on your friends who are playing the sports.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't want to eliminate the seniors, and I don't want to put you on the spot either, but I know that you mentioned Pittston, and it happens to be closest to where I live. And they are participating in the Silver Sneaker program. Which is a program that most insurance companies cover, so that you, as a senior, if you have that insurance, you have a membership, and you can go in and use the...
How about that? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's a great incentive.
Yeah, I've used the treadmill
No
there.
kidding.
They've got a fantastic gymnasium. I'm assuming you have the same kind of... Do you, Wilkes-Barre and Scranton also participate in that program?
Yes. Yes. It's very big. At our Y, we probably have between 50 and 70 people there.
You might have one shot here that I...
You have to ask your insurance company about that, David, to get involved in that, or what?
You do check with
I
your
never heard of
insurance. Most of them cover it, and it's a very simply,
okay.
the reason why is that if you can have a healthier lifestyle, you're going to use that insurance a lot less. So
I think we all have that. When I started at PennDOT, they have a thing called Get Healthy. And it's the whole deal. You know, if you don't smoke and you don't drink alcohol, you actually get a rebate back at the end of every month. You get a rebate back.
Yeah.
And if you're, because they don't want someone smoking 3 packs of cigarettes and coughing outside by the smokers put it out. So I think they all another big company in the area, Friedman Electric, they have Vitality, same deal. So it's a great incentive called Get Healthy. Lord knows, the state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has like 400,000 employees in all walks of life. From the Game Commission to the state stores to PennDOT, and it's like that's a great thing to get money back for staying healthy. So great incentives if you look into them.
yeah. If you're a senior, I strongly suggest just check. You can check with the Y to make sure they cover it. I think most do, and then you see if your insurance. I used to say covered and the Y accepted, but that's great. Well, again, back to the main reason we're here, which is the Healthy Kids Day program. You've got a lot of stations coming in, vendors coming in, if you will. Where are they all coming from?
And let me ask, what are the hours? You open all day long? What are the hours of the Y?
We're open from 5:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
I thought it was something like that.
Yep. And the weekends are a little abbreviated.
I didn't know if it was open that early, but I thought maybe around 6 o'clock.
Oh, people are waiting at the door.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And how about for Healthy Kids Day?
We're from 10 to 2.
10 till 2.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
get there early and take advantage. Now, again, the people coming in, who are they? Are they volunteers as well?
Both. There's volunteers, there's participants, there's vendors.
So where they you search them out? Do they come to you? How do you?
They come to us.
They
come
do.
to us.
Looking for a venue to
Yes.
talk about their services. Face painting. Now, face painting I don't consider the healthy
A huge
aspect.
activity. No.
No.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Allergies.
You see, I'm passing them along here. We better get over to that silver sneaker
Yeah.
and start working out. Rusty had asked earlier, but I want to make sure we cover it now. You have this program. This is not the Healthy Kids program.
That is the Healthy Kids
This
Day.
is, okay. The 29th. What is this 26th year celebrated?
Right. So it was started in 1991. So this is our 26th year.
Oh, the wives started.
The Healthy Kids Day.
It's
Yeah.
been going on that long,
It has been.
but not at your facility.
No, I don't know. I know it was started about 5 or 6 years at our facility, but I'm not sure if it had just taken a hiatus or they had run it before that. Or,
Are these figures accurate? More than 1,600 Ys across the nation participate in this? Do they all do it on the same day?
that's the national day, but if something's going on and for some reason you cannot have it on that day, it doesn't have to be that day.
That's amazing, 1,600 YMCA. So you should check with your local YMCA to see whether or not they might be having this, because we're focusing on Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, but I did not realize that this was actually a nationwide
Yes.
effort.
It's good that they leave it up to the individuals. It's not like Earth Day
Right.
where it's on the same day every year.
Right.
The figures that they have, Rusty,
amazing.
1.2 million participants.
Yeah.
Serves as a kickoff event for sustained initiative that helps kids stay healthy and achieving health all summer long.
I guess we're wrong, David. There's a lot of folks. An influx.
This amazes me.
Me too.
Now, what kind of age group are you looking for the Healthy Kids Day?
I would say if you have anywhere from a 1 or 2 year old to probably 10 or 12-year-old, you'll find something to do with them that day.
Okay, and we want to stress, as we did earlier, that you do not have to be a member of the Y to participate in that particular event. Are there other events that are open occasionally during the year that you?
Occasionally, we'll have open houses, or we'll just have a community welcome into the Y Day to participate in swimming or playing basketball or some of those other events.
Okay. Anywhere they can call, anyone they can contact, any website in particular to find out about all the specifics?
Sure. The Facebook page is probably the easiest way and the fastest way to find out, but also our website at www.greaterscrantonymca.org is updated all the time as
Great.
well.
Okay, Trish Fisher from the Scranton YMCA, also representing the Wilkes-Barre one as well.
Thanks, Trish.
And the Healthy Kids Day is this coming Saturday 10 in the morning
Correct.
until 2 in the
PM.
afternoon. Trish, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And Rusty, thanks for being my sidekick.
See you next year.
Appreciate
Hope
it.
those allergies go away.
Thank you. Mark McGlory, thanks for keeping
Mark,
us in
thanks.
focus. I'm David DeCosmo for ECTV Live. Until we see you again next week, here's hoping all your news is good.